We removed rust from our clamps and made sure all stuck parts could move again. So, I found clamps in the trash, and today I finished their restoration by making new fixed jaws as the old ones were missing. Since the fixed jaws need to withstand a considerable amount of force, I am planning to make them from hardwood. Unfortunately, the only piece of hardwood I have is an odd shape since it came from the window frame. This means I have to make a few cuts to bring it to the shape I want. Ideally, to make those cuts, the best would be to use a bandsaw or a table saw. But since I only have a circular saw at my disposal, I will have to improvise. While I'm not fan at all of the metal guide that comes standard with a circular saw, in this case, this appeared to be the simplest way for me to make the first two cuts safely. Using a circular saw is also going to be more complicated and less accurate. This means I need to take my time to achieve decent results and to keep it safe since there are a few delicate cuts involved. For the last cut, rather than spending time building a complex, specialized jig, I simply decided to go freehand. Using a circular saw and freehand also meant that I had, here and there, some areas to correct, but overall after a little block plane action, that was not too bad. My plan is to have the metal bar from the clamp sandwiched between two pieces of hardwood making up the fixed jaw. I therefore need to carve with my router a little notch at the bottom of my wooden parts for the bar to seat in. If this is a little obscure right now, this should become a little clearer in a minute. Finally, the last of the cuts is to get 4 individual parts that will, when joined together, make up the 2 fixed jaws. I'm using here a cross-cut jig to make sure the circular saw cuts the parts at a precise 90 degrees angle.
Do you know what is the most annoying part when I make woodworking projects? Having to clear away all the
While all cuts were only made with a circular saw, this looks, at least to me, still pretty square. Time now to build the jaws. The plan is to reuse the existing hole in the bars as attachment points. That way I do not have to drill any holes in the metal. This however means that there is a little bit of thinking and planning to do to make sure all the holes are aligned. For that reason, with the wooden part square to the bar, I'm starting by drilling from the inside out. And then from the outside, onto the other side, while everything is clamped together so that it does not move. Off camera, I made some pretty ugly but functional holes for the bolts to fit in, so that the metal hardware does not scratch anything when using the clamp. Now all the holes are drilled and perfectly aligned, I can glue the wooden parts together. For this, I can reuse the two other parts I have at hand to optimally clamp the two parts being glued. Nice. Last, I reused one of the strip of hardwood that I got from my first cut to create 4 pads that I will use on both jaws of the clamps. After having cut one corner of the fixed jaws to make them less bulky, and after adding a little color, just to make it more fun and appealing. There you have it guys, 2 renovated fully functional long-reach clamps. That I can now use to do interesting things like this.